morning. We're getting ready to start another video on another machine. And like I said in the previous video, that we've got several machines we're working on today, getting ready for Pickett Creek State Park up in Jamestown, Tennessee. We're just going through doing some preventative repairs on these machines that we found in the last week that needs to be fixed on them. We did the wheel bearings on the back of this one about 2-3 weeks ago, and since then we tore out on a ride up at Hatfield McCoy Trails on an outlaw trail. They got hung up in up against a tree, or a root sticking out of a tree coming up a pretty steep hill, and it couldn't get around, and it kept jabbing into the wheel, and it pulled this knuckle here out of the A-arm. So the lower control arm. So we contacted Super ATV, and within 4 days we had a brand new one free of charge shipped to us. So kudos to Super ATV. They're really excellent to work with and stand behind their products. So anyway, we're going to replace this today. And then while we got it off, we've also noticed once we had it jacked up a couple weeks ago that the bushings were starting to get some flop in them. We'll be replacing these bushings in here on all the factory hubs, on all 4 corners. Tate will be doing most of this work while I'm working on another machine that's on another video that we're also doing at the same time simultaneously. So hopefully they don't overlap and get confusing. So there you go. So Tate is going to take it away from here.
Okay, so today basically what I'm doing is I'm going to take this hub off over here first, and then I'll get to the A-arm. But right now, so the first thing I got to do is I'm going to take probably this bolt off right here. Take that bolt off, and I'll probably take the brake caliper off, and then I'll take these bolts, these 2 bolts right here. I'll take them off, and then the whole thing will just fall out. But the brake caliper, I'm going to have to tie to up here, probably to something up here. I'm going to tie it to probably the shock tower or something up in here to keep it from breaking your brake lines, because you don't want them to kink or break. So that's what we do every time we take these off. We just put them and tie them. So the next step that I'm going to do is just take these off. I don't even have to take the wheel spacers off because I'm not dealing with that. I'm just dealing with the bushings in here and this A-arm today. That's it. So I will talk to you guys when I get some stuff taken apart. Basically, all I did, as you can see in the timeline for this, took everything off. So this bolt right here has that pin in it. Now the pin, I was going to try just to take it out, not because we're going to reuse it, but just take it out normally. but I couldn't do that. So I just cut the top off of it and pulled it back through. And then again, it came out really easily. As you can see in the video, it came out pretty easy. But then that means you have to replace it. You can't reuse it, which we don't reuse ours anyway because there's so much play. Like when you take them off, you're so brutally moving them, then it's just easier just to take it off. And they're pretty cheap to replace too. So it's just more worth it just to replace the thing. I tied up my brake caliper, obviously. Now there is a bolt right here inside of this. This right here is very, very important that you get it the right way if it falls out, because it is specifically put on there and it's cambered a certain way. So you have to make sure that don't fall out and keep all of your parts clean. Like I cleaned this off because it hit the floor. So make sure all this, especially this is all greased up. Make sure it's all clean, especially in there. Make sure everything's clean. Especially when you put it back on, you have to make sure it's all clean. Now, all I'm going to do now, so you can see my bushings, like they are literally like falling apart. So in here, there is gaps. See, it moves back and forth, back and forth. This is what, see? So I'm able to push the thing out, like pull it out. That should not ever be possible. Like that's how wore out these things are. So 1800 miles. But yeah, but we also have like 5 times the size tires on these things, on this thing. So yeah, so those they're really wore out. You should not be able to send it through there like I am right now. This should not happen. So I'm going to show you me pressing these apart in a minute. Okay, so basically, come over here and let me show this. So basically what you have to do is you spray this down with penetrating lubricant. And then so these things were able to move more. Now, these bushings are incredibly hard to get out. So you can't take them out or push them through. There's a lip in here. So what you have to do is you have to push them from the back side. And what I did right here is I already did it because I wanted to make sure that this is the way that it actually worked. So you just take a punch and you punch that little lip that's in here. It's very, very small. Like you can show them in there, show them in the hole. There's a very, very small lip up in there. Like right there. It's right there. See, there's a lip in there. You got to take a punch, a long punch, or yeah, just a long punch. That's the only thing that really works. And you got to beat on the end of it, and then it'll just fall out the bottom. Now I haven't done these yet, so I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure they will work the same because I can get a punch right there. So I will update you guys when I take this one out and this other one out. Okay, so basically these bottom ones were a lot harder than these top ones because you have to cut them. So what I did was take a drill bit and you go back and forth on this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you get to where you go through. So then after that, you just take a screwdriver, you bang it in there, and you break it off. So once they're broke off, these things collapse, and they're real easy to take in and out of here now. So, but be careful not to scar up your outer wall here. Now, if you do get a little bit on there, but it's fine, you just take some sandpaper, just a little piece of sandpaper, and you just wipe it down real good. If it's a little bit, it's okay, but if you have a lot, that means it's really bad and you can't use it anymore. So this is a hard step, don't mess it up. Now over here, I did put this rag in here to keep the dirt out of here. So, because you don't want dirt inside there. And yeah, so just put a rag in there. Be safe. Don't not put a rag in there. But yeah, so then you just wait, make it nice and smooth. And then And now you got to do the other side. So, and I will time lapse myself doing this other side. Okay guys, so basically, all I did, so here's another recap of what I did. All I did was cut these right here for the bigger bushings. Cut these and they slide out real easily. Just don't tear up your sidewall, okay? And then after that, I took a blow nozzle from an air compressor and blew out all the shavings. Make sure you get the insides of these pretty clean. Actually, really clean. You have to make sure they're really clean. So clean them out and stuff. And that should be all that you have to do to this. This hub is now ready for new bushings. And, yep, new bushings. So basically what I did was I pushed the new one into the hub. Now I couldn't use the press because it won't sit up there level and straight to be able to push this in there. Now you could get to go that way, but it's a lot easier to use a vise than it is to use that press. So how I got it in there was I just used some grease and I put the grease around this and then I slid it into the hole and it goes in there pretty easy. It should slide in there really easy when you put it on a vise. You can't push it in there with your hands. It's too tight. Then you have to use a 17mm socket to push it the rest of the way because the vise can only go to flat with the metal and you have to go past that to get the other little rubber washer on there. So that is pretty much it for that. So yeah. Okay guys, so basically I have it finished. So after I press those in, these actually go in extremely easily. The actual little sleeves, the little metal sleeves that go through here. And then after that, all you have to do is put it back on the machine. And then I'm going to show you me putting it back on the machine. Okay, so sorry guys, I forgot one key part. It's these little washers. You just push them in there. It's pretty easy to get them in there. But now I'm going to put it back on there. Okay guys, so now all I'm doing is, so I got my hub rebuilt, sitting over there on the desk, on the table. Now I'm going to take this lower A-arm, is completely broken. Well, not broken, but pulled out of its actual thing. I'm going to take it apart, take this part off and this part off, and yeah, just take the shock off of the thing and then take the sway bar off of this thing too. And then you take these two bolts out and the whole thing just falls off. This is a super ATV arched A-arm for a general. So yeah, they work pretty good, except for these bushings are a little weaker, but they gave us a free one because of that. So I've done is, you saw in the time lapse, I took the A-arm off and then I set it up here. So it wasn't a bind, so that don't normally happen when I have trouble getting the bolts out and stuff. But all you have to do is switch over the hardware and try to line these up, because these are both adjustable, same as the old ones, so your tires work. So I just matched this one because this one's pulled out, so I matched this one. These two should be the same, theoretically, should be the same. So you have to take out these right here and switch them over. You have to take out the little sway bar thing. Make sure you have that the right way, and you do that. And then this should be ready to go back on here. So I'm going to put this back on there, and then I will talk to you guys in a second. Okay, so basically at this clip that we did, my brother did not give me the right mic, so we have zero audio for it. So I'm just going to talk over it. And so basically what I'm doing here is I'm just showing you what I did exactly. Exactly what I did was I tested out the hubs that were there. Then I showed you exactly how I put in stuff, and then I told you about the bolt. There's a pin in there that you have to put in the right way. All you have to do is have to turn it down, give it a couple ugga-duggas until the holes line up, and then you can put that pin back through there, and then you just bend it back up exactly like I have it, and then just put the brake caliper back on. There's two bolts that hold the brake caliper on, so and you just twist them in there, and that's pretty much it. I just put the A-arms back on. So you have to make sure those bolts at the back though are tight and you have grease inside them fittings. It does not come with grease, and you have to tighten everything down to make it. You have to make sure the bolts are tight.
And that wraps up this one. So he got the A-arm replaced. You can tell by looking, it's nice and pretty and shiny. Got that taken care of, and he got all of his bushings replaced in the back. The front bushings are good, so all we need to do is the back. So it's ready to ride. This one's ready, and he got the oil change in it too. We didn't do a video. Bless you. We didn't do a video on the oil change because there's thousands of videos out there on oil changes. So, but this one's pretty much ready to be washed and sent it to Tennessee to ride at Pickett Creek in about 4 days. Well, probably by the time you see this video, hopefully we'll be riding on the trail then, maybe. So anyway, all right. Happy trails, guys. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, click the thumbs up, comment if you got any questions. Thank you. Have a good day. Happy trails.